this video, we're gonna use QuizMaker plugin to create the best quizzes on your WordPress website. It's a really extensive plugin, so let me show you what we'll be covering in this tutorial. I'm going to show you how you can create this amazing quiz, and at the end people can actually buy something from your website depending on the outcome of the quiz. I'm going to show you how you can style it completely to the way you like it. I'm going to show you how you can easily schedule a quiz, how to enable a timer for your quizzes or questions. I'm going to show you how you can add sounds for wrong or right answers, even how to play background music during your quiz, how to make intervals according to the outcome of the quizzes, how to create a stunning certificate, how to limit the users of your quiz, and I'm also going to show you a lot of shortcodes coming with this plugin. We're gonna dive in right now. The first thing we do is we go to wpressdoctor.com/quiz and press enter. Using this link, you will not pay more, but I will receive a small commission, so thank you very much. And then we are at the WordPress QuizMaker plugin, which I think is one of the best QuizMaker plugins around. Because when you look at these average rating, 4.9 out of 5 with 380 reviews. That's a lot. You don't see that often with plugins, so this means this thing is actually really good. The biggest difference between the three plans is the support for 5 sites or unlimited. This is actually a lifetime license for unlimited sites and unlimited support and unlimited usage. The difference between developer and agency is actually all kind of systems like GamiPress, MyCred, Fronted, Sendinblue, MailerLite, all these things. If you don't want this and your Stripe and PayPal is enough, I would say let's go with this one. Then we have unlimited websites and we can use it for a lifetime license. So we're gonna press buy now. And when you've just filled in all your details, you can press checkout. Then you log into your WordPress website. If you're still using WP admin, please watch my tutorial about WordPress security because you don't want to get hacked. That's what I mean, security. Then we go to plugins and we're gonna add new. Then press upload plugin over there. We select the file we've just downloaded from QuizMaker and then you press install now. Of course, press activate plugin. And then we are immediately at the quizzes dashboard. Welcome. I'm going to walk you through all these settings on the left side so you know exactly how it works, how you can use the quizzes and how you can create your own quizzes and place them on your website. Now the first thing we want to do is create a new quiz. So let's do this first. Press on add new over here. And we're going to add a new quiz and the title of this quiz is just a test your SEO knowledge. This way we can learn how to create quizzes and you also will learn something about SEO. Then we can add a quiz image, just like your logo or something. Let's go to our media library and upload a file. Add in the alt text and press insert into post. Let's scroll down. This is the quiz image. Excellent. Then we're going to add in a description of the quiz. Now the fun thing is in the description you can also enter some variables. Press your cursor over here and for example we type hi and we click on message variables and we're going to use the user's first name. Click on it. You might not see it over there, but it's actually here. If you scroll down, here we are. So we're gonna cut this and paste it in over there. Hi, first name. And of course, then your last name. And then we have it over here. So we're gonna cut it out, paste it in over here, comma. Hi, first name, last name. Test your knowledge on SEO to make sure your WordPress website ranks. Just to make it a little bit more personal. And then we're going to add it to a category. If you're going to make more quizzes, the category is going to be very important. So we go over here. You can go to quiz categories, open link a new tab, and then we can add in more categories. So we're going to press add new. And this category is about SEO. Save and close. Then we go back to our quiz over there. And then you can add in your category. However, you need to refresh this page. So before you refresh it, we need to save it. So we scroll down, we're going to press save over here. Then it's going to refresh the page. Now it's the quiz already created, but now we can add in the right category, SEO, like this. And we have the status of the quiz. You can unpublish it anytime you want. And over here we can let the QuizMaker plugin create a new post which automatically contain a shortcode. As we are using a page builder, I don't want this to happen, so I'm going to leave this unchecked. Now we can add questions to our quiz. If we click over here, you can add all the questions that we have already created, but we haven't created any questions. So we're going to do that right now. Close this one, and then you can click over here, create questions. If you click on this one, you will open up a new tab. Now we can create new questions. I'm going to walk you through this question setup system one by one. The first thing, of course, is we're going to type in our question right here. And the question is, what does SEO stand for? Good question. If we now scroll down, then the question type, I'm going to demonstrate you all these types one by one, so just follow along. The first one will be a radio, and for the radio we have 3 different answers. But you can also make it 2 answers or 3 or 4. Let's use 4 right now. SEO stands for the synthetic engine oil. The second answer will be science and education outreach. The third one will be search engine optimization. The last one will be a self-employment opportunity, which is actually also possible. And then the correct answer is, of course, yay! Well done. You can also change the ordering of the questions. Just drag and drop them over here. Whatever you want, it's all possible. Let's make this the third one. That would be nice. And it's the correct answer. Then you can add in some weight or points to this question. Let's say in this quiz, the right question gets 10 points. That's great. And the self-employment opportunity, which is also true, let's give it 5 points just for the fun. You can also use images to your answers. We will be doing that in just a second. If you want to use HTML in your answers, for example, you want to add more text, you can check this box, and then you can use like these breaks, or make it bold, or make it italic, make it underlined. All these things are now possible with HTML. In our case, we're not going to use this, so I'm going to turn this off. And then you have the question weight. How important is this question? Is it very important? Then it will multiply these points to the results. So in our case, if we put in 2, then this points will be 20 when correct answered. But if you just put in 1, then it will just have the normal weight of this question. So let's keep it on 1. And then we can have the question category. However, again, we cannot use the category right now. So we first have to save this question. Let's do this right now. But now we press on our keyboard Ctrl S. What you will see is now the question has been created. Let's go over here to the question categories, open link in a new tab. And then we have the uncategorized. We're going to add a new. And these questions are all about SEO. Then you can add in the descriptions just for you. All SEO questions for the SEO quiz. And then we press save and close. Then we go back to our questions. This page needs to be refreshed, so press F5 on your keyboard. Here we go. And now we have over here question category. We can pick SEO. And now the category has been used. Besides categories, you can also work with tags, which could be very useful, like end questions, first questions, big questions, or SEO questions, anything you want. But if you want to add tags, you have to go to question categories over there. And now we can also add in tags over there. And here you can add in tags, for example, or maybe you want to tag in add new opening question. For example, I don't know. You can fill in whatever you want. Use categories and tags at the same time to complement each other, or it's just a great system to search through your questions really quick in the quiz maker. And again, if you want to use your tags now, we need to refresh this page to use them. Then we have the question status. Again, publish, unpublish. Excellent. Here you can disable and enable strip slashes for answers and questions. It's only useful if you have a plugin called the MatJax Latex. We're not using it in this tutorial, so you can leave it just the way it is. Great. You can also choose to have this question of no influence to the end score of your quiz. It's useful, for example, to collect information from the people who are actually filling out your quiz. And then we have the question title, which you can use for yourself or to show at the front end. Let's just copy this one and paste it in over here. What does SEO stand for? And if we now go to advanced settings, we will go to the next tab. We were just at the general tab. Now we are at the settings tab, advanced settings. Then we can add a background image. And then you can also enable user answer explanation. If you enable this one, they will have a small box where they can type an explanation for the choice. But let's keep this disabled for this question. Here you can add in a question hint. Don't use Google for this. And then we can add in a question explanation, except for the checkbox type. Then we have a message for the wrong answer, also except for the checkbox. And a message for the right answer, also except for the checkbox type. And then you have no text. It will appear below all the questions, so you can just fill it in. At this point, you can press save and close your question, or we can press save and new question. Let's use that one and create another question. The next one is gonna be a checkbox over here. So now we have multiple answers. And the question is, which things are of great importance with SEO? A beautiful thing is with a checkbox that multiple answers are correct. So we're gonna add it in all of them. Your title, your meta description, meta keywords, text, another answer, the use of headings, image, alt, texts. Another one is the Google Sandbox, and create a new blog every day. All right, let's add in the right answers over there. What things are of great importance? Well, titles and meta descriptions are correct. Yes, these are very important. Meta keywords, no longer. The text of the page is of course very important. The use of headings throughout your page, yes. Alt text, yes. JavaScript, no. As long as your page speed is okay. So compress it, delay it, very important for your page speed. And the Google Sandbox is not alive anymore these days, so you don't have to worry about that one. And then create a new blog every day. Fresh content is important, but not that you have to do it every single day. Once a week, once a month. What's enough for your visitors? And then we're gonna put in the weights and the points. So you get 1 point for every good answer. So one with this, one with these, one with this, one with this, one with those. At a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points in total. If you scroll down, now we have more options for this question. Enable minimum selection number. If we select this, now we can add in that they have to choose a minimum of 3 answers. A maximum selection number, logical would add in the maximum numbers are maybe 10. Well, in our case, we're not gonna help them with this, so let's just disable this one. Then the question weight is 1, great. The category is again SEO. The tags, we're not gonna use them. Question status published, and then these are all the same. And of course the question title. And the title, we're gonna make it smaller. SEO things of great importance. Then we're gonna save and add a new question over here. And the next question will be a drop-down. And then the question itself, how did the SEO find his way back through the woods? He optimized the road. He searched for a heading. And the last answer is, he used breadcrumbs. And you get 10 points if you used breadcrumbs. These are all the same category, SEO, save and new question. So the next question we're going to create are actually two the same, because we have in here, we have text and we have short text. If you click on text, people can add in a big answer question box. But it's pretty hard to actually calculate a score in such an answer if you don't know exactly how people are going to phrase it. This is going to be a common knowledge test and question, and I'm not going to add it in the quiz score. Now, this is a very important question for all you people who do SEO. Of course it's not, but the correct answer is 2012. So we're gonna give this 10 points if you get 2012 exactly the same. Placeholder should be 2000XX, so people know that there has to be a year in the 2000s in there. But you can also use delimiters like this, and then we have US is the same as USA or also United States. So we can use for this the answer 2012, but we can also use 2012. But also the correct answer should be 2000. Oh, hold up. 2012 or 2012, like this. All these things are great. Then we're gonna press save and new over here. And then we can also create a short text, but we can also add a name number. What is the best place to hide something no one can ever find? And the answer should be 2. And then the placeholder should be second page of Google search results. And then you get 10 points for it. And again, save and new. Then we have another kind of question, which is the date. You can ask a question about something that happened in the past. When did RankMath SEO plugin hit the 2 million active installations? And you get 100 points if you know this from the heart. The correct answer is RankMath has reached an incredible milestone of over 2 million active installation on the 22 May of 2023. It was done. Congratulations, RankMath. So that's the correct date, and if you get it right, you get 100 points. All right, next question. And then we go to a very useful question, which isn't actually a question. It is the banner over here. And the banner is just a simple piece of text inside of all your questions, so people know there is a new subject starting or whatever you want. For example, now we start with the real SEO Pro questions. Are you ready? Let's continue. But don't forget to over here to add it into the SEO, but also don't forget to add in the title so you can distinguish the banner from the rest of your questions. Banner Pro SEO, like this. Press save and new. And then the last one is the true or false question, which is actually very simple, true or false. And let's add in a good question for you. There is no need for link building these days. Is it true or is it false? This is false. You always need to do a link building from different kind of websites, different kind of domain names, different kind of servers. This question weight will be 10 points if you get it right. All right. Again, put it in the SEO category and press save and close. Now we are at the questions. Oh, we didn't categorize them all correctly, as you can see. Well, if we want to change this one to SEO, just press on edit. And then we scroll down and we're going to change this category to SEO. We're going to do this with all the questions. This is actually the way it should be. We have all the categories on SEO and then the standard questions from the plugin itself, but we can leave them over there. Then we scroll up and we go back to our quizzes over there and we're going to test your SEO knowledge. Press on edit. Because now we can actually add in questions to our quiz. Scroll down, and then we're going to add in the category SEO, of course, and then we're going to add questions. Click on this plus icon, and then you can filter by category. Very useful. Let's categorize all the SEO questions. Now in here, you can only see 5 of the questions we created. You can also click over here and show all of the SEO questions. Make sure that the filter is there, or else you get a very long list. And we're just gonna press select all and we're gonna press select questions. Now all the questions are inside of our quiz, but we're forced gonna order them because now they are ordered in the wrong way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can do this manually by just dragging and dropping, but you can also just press on this button over there. Click on it, and now we have the ordering on the other way. Very useful. Let's only place the banner to go over here in the middle. We can now press save over here. Before we're going to style the quiz, let us first take a look at how it looks on the front end right now. To do this, you scroll up, and then what you're going to do is use this shortcode. Just click it and then it's copied. And then you go to the page or post where you want to add in this quiz. I'm going to create a new page called quiz, and then I'm going to press publish. And then I'm just going to add in a row. I'm going to add in a text module over there. And we're just going to paste in here our shortcode and press save. Now when I open up the page, this is my quiz. Test your SEO knowledge. Hi. And then we don't have a first name and last name because we're not logged into this website. But when I'm logged in, this is what you see. Hi, Matt, aka the WordPress Doctor. Test your knowledge on SEO to make sure your WordPress website ranks in the top 3 of organic search results. When you pass, you might win a prize. Let's press start. Great. The multiple checkboxes, great. Yeah, good one. Press next. Alright, this is the banner we entered. Great. Next. Yes, good, I have it good. Second page, of course. False. Wow, 71%, good. Now in the next part, we're gonna cover all these tabs in here so we know exactly how to style and create the quizzes. I don't know why they picked them, but they're funny pictures. We can style it in a lot of ways. This quiz right now is the classic light theme over there, but we can also go with dark or rect light, elegant light, rect light. You can choose all these things. So let's go with elegant light. Then we have an animation effect. The first thing we do is try it. This is the way you will go to the next page. You can also select none, and then it will just a little bit of fading. But you also have a more fading, shake it, swing right and swing left. That's really funny. So let's keep it on shake, I like it. Then we can change the quiz color over here. If you click on it, just a random selector of the buttons. Let's go with the Joe's purple over there. You can also change the background color over here, but let's keep it on white now. Change the text color to, well, let's keep it on black. But then we can change the button text color, which is actually really handy now. Right there, nice. Here we can change the quiz width. For 100%, just remove it and now your quiz will be complete size. Let's check it out over here. Now, if you have a page builder like Divi or Elementor, then this is very useful because now you can just go into the settings of your row, go to design, sizing, and let's say I want this on 50%. Now your quiz will actually size and you can control the size within Divi or within Elementor or within whatever system you're using. But if you can't change it within your builder, then this is very useful. For us, let's keep it on 100%, so this way we can actually control the width from within Divi and not within the quiz maker. Then we have a max width for mobile, just leave it on blank because 100% is excellent. And we have the minimum height. Then you have the quiz title transformation. As you can see, I don't like this completely uppercase, so I'm just gonna use none. And then it just uses the way I put it into the quiz. Then over here we can change the font size of the title to make it just a little bit bigger. I like it to be a little bit bigger. And on mobile, just keep it on 21. You can add in a shadow and completely change it the way you want it. I don't like it, so we're gonna remove it. You can change the quiz image height and the questions image width also, and the height again, and the image size if it's cover or contain it or none. There's actually a lot of options you can change about here. The container border. With the border radius, you can make your quiz go with rounded corners, which I really like. You can have box shadow, yes or no, or just tweak and style it. Let's keep it there. You can also use a background image for it. I don't know why you would want that. For example, yeah. Well, you can use an image if you want it, but you can also use a gradient. That's excellent. Wow, you can style this completely the way you want it. I'm happy. Then you have the buttons position on the left side, right side, space between, or just center. The progress bar. This is the progress bar which will be shown at the last page when completing your quiz. You can style it over here, a rectangle with stripes and animation, rounded. I do like the stripes and animation more. Then you have the progress live bar style, which is exactly the same, but then on top. I also like this animation. Here you can add in custom classes so you can style it even further with your own CSS. Useful if you want some effects that aren't available right here. Then we have the answer styles. Here you can change all the font sizes of the right answer, wrong answers, question explaining everything in here. You can also use a grid or a list for your answers. Let's use a grid, I like that more. And well, there is actually a lot you can change inside of this. Cover it, fill it, contain it. You can change a lot of things. You can actually change everything. The border width of your questions. Really nice, guys. You can also have a box shadow over there. This is great. The icons are also really fun to play around with. Look at this. This is actually pretty funny. I'm gonna keep it like this. Great. Then we have the bottom styles. You can also style them, and then you have some custom CSS. Wow. And if I now go back to my quiz over here and I press refresh, you can now see that the style has been changed a little bit. If you style it all the way you want, press save, and then we go to the next tab. Over here, settings. Let me explain you real quick what these are. Show quiz head information if you want a title and a description when starting. That's great. Enable auto start. If we enable this one and we reload the page, you'll see that the quiz automatically starts with the first question. That's useful in some cases, in mine it's not. If you enable the randomized answers, your answers will be randomized in their position, so that's pretty useful sometimes. You can also randomize the questions, but if you want to do this, you can also enable the question bank. Then you make sure that these questions are grouped together and they won't mix up with the other groups. Then you can also group your questions by the category. Enable the navigation bar. I would like to see that one, so enable this. If you want to have more questions on one quiz page, then enable this option and then you can add, for example, 3 questions on one page. We're not going to use this in this quiz, but it's possible. You can display all your questions on one page if you want that. I don't want that, but it's possible. Show the questions counter. RTL direction is reading from right to left. If you, for example, from a country that supports this, then you need to enable this. You can also enable copy protection. This is useful when people try to Google your question. They can copy paste your quiz and put it in somewhere else. This way they cannot. And you can also make the questions required. If you fill in no answer, you cannot go to the next question. And then with this, you can show the correct answer so you see if you've done it wrong. Instant feedback from filling out your quiz. You can also display the duration of the right and wrong answers in seconds, and you can finish the quiz after one wrong answer, show only the wrong answers, and show a waiting time so that they know in how many seconds the next question will start. Then you can show messages for right or wrong answers during the quiz on the result page on both, or disable it. Again, with show question explanation, the same. The show past user count, this little icon on the right bottom. I don't want to show that, so I'm going to remove it. Then we have the average rates. You can show it, the creation rate, the quiz author, the quiz category, question category, enable live progress bar. I like this one, so we're going to enable it, and the percentage so people know when the quiz is finished. With the hint icon, you can use the default eye or custom text, even a button, or you can just hide it at all and then you just hover over it. But I think the default icon is the nicest one. Then you can also enable a finish button so people can finish the quiz earlier on, except walking through all the questions. You can also enable a button which has clear answers. Enable go next by pressing the enter key on your keyboard. Enable a next button and a previous button could be useful in some cases. But you can also use arrows. That's nice, like this. I like this one. You can also enable a timer, and you can enable it for the entire quiz or just only per question. And you can style it with a message after the timer ends, before starting the quiz, show it on the page tab and turn on warnings. This quiz system is actually one of the best I've ever seen. It's really extensive. They have so many options. You can also enable background music. Why not? Sounds for right or wrong answers. That's pretty funny actually. Here you can enable audio autoplay if you have audio inside your questions. Here you can schedule your quiz. And if you enable this one, you can actually select the date, the time zone, and the message and the expiration message. This is a great one. Enable confirmation box for leaving the page. You should have this on. If someone tries to refresh the page or accidentally close it, then they get a warning message that's prevent them from closing them instantly. You can also enable confirmation box. I don't know why you should want it, but that's okay. Then you have question numbering. Let's number them like this. And then the answer numbering. Let's answer them like A, B, or C, or D. The current quiz creation date. It's fine. Change the author. It's great. Full screen mode. Can be useful. Zoom in your image questions. If you have them, really great. If you want the quiz to only be taken if someone pays, then the payment type can be useful to set it up prepay or postpay. Prepay means they can pay before taking the quiz, and postpay after you taking the quiz and you want to see the results. Here you can paste in the page where you want to have the quiz posted. In my case, I'm going to paste in this URL because this is the place where I want to show the quiz. Now you can save your options, save and close, but you have also another option which says save as a default. This is really powerful because when I save this now, every new quiz I create will have the same options, will have the same settings that I've just selected. Great feature, and I love this. Alright, let's go to the result setting page over there. In the result setting page, here you can calculate your score by correctness or by weight and points. Well, In our case, we've done it by the weight and point, so let's keep this on. Redirect after submissions. You can redirect them to another page which says thank you very much. In that case, you might add in a delay so they can actually see the results. But we're not going to use this right now. You can also add an exit button. Then you can redirect them, for example, to the home page like this. That can be useful in some cases. You can also choose to hide the score with this option. And you can display the score by correct answer count, weight, points, or by percentage. Let's do weight and points. Then we have the progress bar, so you can see the score while doing your quiz. Then you can also add a restart button to the quiz. Very useful if your students can try again and again and again. If you want to show all your questions also in the result page, enable this, and then you can hide the correct answers or show the wrong answers or only show the wrong answers. Or show the high toggle. It's really extensive what you can do, so this is great. Also fun to show the statistical average. Fun. And then at the end you have some social buttons. People can share the results on their social pages. I don't like this, so I'm gonna close this up. But you can also choose to enable social media links so they can actually visit your social media web pages. Would be nice. In our case, we're not gonna use it. Then you have a quiz assessment, so people can actually rate your quiz at the end of the quiz. And you can also use a loader icon. And here's the loader icon we've already seen, but you can change it to another, another animation if you want to do that. I like this one. It really gives me the speed up vibe. So you can also add in a result message. And again, you can also add in all the variables if people are actually logged into your website. Here you can add in your score with the minimum amount people have to fill in correctly before they can pass the quiz. In our case, I want them to have 80% correct of the quiz. Then you can change your quiz pass message and your fail message. Here you can disable your data storing in database if you have, for example, sensitive information in your quiz. Here you can enable strong calculation of checkbox answer score, and if you hover over it, you will read exactly what this means. And then we have interval messages, which are a really great feature. If you have, for example, a minimum score of 0 till 25, you can show a text. Maybe you should buy my book because you are a total newbie. And you can upsell them to a different product, in our case a book, but we don't have a book on this website, but I do have protein on this website, so that's the way you can do it. And you can also add an image. If you have a better score, you can get different text results. It's really great way to upsell or do anything you want with it. It's excellent. Then you also have a powerful feature, assign a message to each keyword. If you enable this, you can actually add in some keywords, A, B, C, or D, or F, and you can add in the variables, these variables, and if these variables applies, they will see this text at the end of the quiz. And then the last option is quiz coupons. Depending on the score, you can give them certain kind of discount for products or something like that. This can be useful in some cases. Then we're gonna press save. And then we go over here to limitation users. The first thing we can change is the maximum number of attempts per user. I want them, for example, to be 2 times that they can try it. And you can do it on user ID, cookies, or IP and cookie. I think the IP and cookie mode will be the most thorough to block users from trying again. You can also enable the quiz only for logged in users. And if you're not logged in, you can see this form. Please log in to participate in this quiz, and then they can log in using the login form. You can also use only for selected user role, just select it. Then this one is also auto-enabled because it's only for logged in users. If you have the user role of editor, for example, you can show a message that are not included inside of this list. You can also just only enable the quiz for specific users. If you go over here, you can select all the users that are on your website. I'm the only one, so it's not gonna work for me. And then you can also limit the amount of people that can actually pass the quiz. So let's say 12 people can do it, and after that, the quiz will be closed. And you can also add in a password for people to fill in before they can pass the quiz. If you select it, you can add in one password over there, so people have to fill this in, but they know it on front. But you can also use generated passwords. For example, if I want to generate 15 passwords to hand them out for specific people, this is a thorough way to make sure no one else can actually fill in your quiz. Then you just press on submit and here they are. And I can just send them to my customers, clients, or whatever who can take the quiz. Alright, then we go to user data over there. If you want to collect data from your users before or after they do your quiz, this is the place to completely configure. If you want to show them, you can tell them, let us first know who you are. And then you go to the information form and let's do it before the quiz. And if you want to know their name, their email and their phone, just drag and drop it to there, like this, like that. If you want to create custom fields like what country you're in or where you're from, just click over here on this button. Here you go. And then you can add custom fields to add in over there. For example, I want to also know which country are you from? And then you can type it in, or they can select it. We have checkbox or whatever you want. Let's do text and save and close. And then we go back to our quiz settings over here, quizzes, edit them. We go to user data and we now scroll down. We can enable this one before the quiz. Oh, I didn't save it. Always save it before pushing the different buttons. And now you can see that we can drop the name, email, phones, but also which country are you from? And then we're gonna make this one required. Works great. We scroll down, show information form to logged in users. With this option you can also choose to not show these for people who are already logged in, because you might already have that data. Autofill logged in user data, that's useful if you don't want to show it. And you can display also the labels on the form fields. Let's press save. And then we go to the email and certificate. Great if you want to send an email to your people who passed the quiz. You can choose to only let this email be sent if they passed the test score. You can type anything you want, for example, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And then you can add in an image or whatever you want to do, you can do it over there. You can also send them the results, of course. You can also choose to send them the interval message, which we have set up in the previous section. You can also send out a test mail, so just press the send button to your email address. And then you receive this email, which says message, username, email, phone, which country, duration of the test, your score, and then the question and the right answer, the wrong answer, and the entire quiz in your mailbox. Really useful. If we scroll down, you can also send a certificate to the users. Click on this one, and then you need the pass score, of course, of well, let's say 95. And then you have the certificate of completion. You can change this. This is to certify that this username has completed the quiz. You can actually tune and tweak this the entire way you want it. So that's great. You can also add a background image and a frame. This is great, like this or this. And then you can also choose that an email has been sent to the admin every time someone passes your test. This can be useful if you want to upsell them or call them, or you need something else to do. That would be great. Again, use the pass score. This is your admin address. You can also add in more addresses. Also send in the table we have just seen. The interval messages, their certificate, and use the subject for the admin email. And you can also create this message. And then we can set up the entire email configuration and make sure that this is the right URL you're sending from. Then the name. Here you can change the reply to email to, well, in my case, a different URL. And then we can press save. And the last tab is the integrations tab. In the integration tab, you can integrate it with some really powerful integrations with the Quiz Maker plugin. All right, we have talked about all the quizzes settings. Now, the next phase of this tutorial will be covering all these menu items over here. Let's first go to questions. What you can also do is just select them with SEO and press filter. Really useful. You can also select them all and press unpublish or delete them, move them to trash. What's also useful is that you can export or import all questions to your PC. That's very useful if you just want to save all your questions or you just want to import them in another quiz. Really great, really made easy. In the quiz categories, we've already been here. You can add categories, delete them, change them, or whatever. But what's also very nice is you can create shortcodes and then it will randomize a quiz with all the questions inside of this category. That's really funny. So you don't need a quiz for that. You can do that with the shortcode. Another way to show all questions inside of a quiz, quickly generated, by the categories. Nice. You also have question categories over there. We've already been there, and you can delete them or change them, and also with the tags, the same. The custom fields, we've already been here, and you know how this works. Then we go to orders. Any order that someone has paid to do your quiz, or after they want to see the results, when you connect it with Stripe or PayPal or whatever. On the result page, you can see all the results of your quizzes, and they are bundled by the quiz itself. So you can go into the details of your quiz, in this case the SEO knowledge. You can see who have done it, what's their IP, and all the information has been stored about this user. Then you can see how long they did it, what the score was, the points are, and if they paid or not. Really interesting. But there's more. You can also go to not finished, and then you can see all the users that did not finish the quiz. And if you go to statistics, you can see all kind of beautiful tables and graphs about your quiz. The correct answers given, the past users, the scores, intervals. Someone really did a good job with this. Then we go to questions. Here you can see a nice table about all the questions inside of your quiz and the correctness people answered it. Really interesting. Let's go to the next one. If you use multiple categories inside of your quiz, this is interesting because now you can see a pie, which percentage of your question categories has been answered correctly. In your leaderboard, again, you can see the leaderboard of the best scoring student from this quiz. And then the reviews, if people leave a review after the quiz, this is the place to find it. Let's go back to results. You have also the global statistics. In here you can find the quiz statistics of all your quizzes inside of your system. Then you have a global leaderboard, which one is doing the best of all your quizzes combined. And then you have all results of all your quizzes. This is a really extensive system. I really like this. Then you go to general settings in here. I'm going to walk you through all these general settings. Also, you can set up a lot of important stuff from your quizzes. For example, who will have permissions to make quizzes? The administrators, or maybe you also want to have the editor to also go inside of your quiz plugin. Really useful to change this, and also who can see all the quiz data. Then you have different parameters. The question's default type, you can change it over here, the default counts, categories, keywords. This is just amazing settings, and most of these settings will just stay the same, but it's really extensive. Do not store IP address. If you check this box, then you don't have to ask permission for European countries to store their IP address. In our case, we're definitely gonna store them and just ask them to place a cookie. And here you can change the quiz right, wrong answer sounds. Really funny to add them in, but you first have to download them and then select them, upload them to your website. Here you can even define a number of words that you see when you go to questions over here. 5 words now. This is what they mean with this one. You can see these. It's amazing that you can actually change them, that they think about it. I think with this thing, someone just really fine-tuned what can we actually create more options to give in with people. This is amazing. Then you have the animation on top. If you want to have the animation, here you can exclude the CSS file from the homepage. If you're not putting any quizzes on your homepage, you should really select this. Why? It will save you a bunch of speed scores when optimizing your website. So enable this one. Then you have lazy loading, put this on, of course, for your speed optimization. If you have slow hosting or you have a very big quiz, then it might take a while before the start button shows. Then enable this one and people see a start button loader, so people will wait for it to load. If you want to actually store the quizzes that are not finished, then enable this one. Then it will also show up in your tab we've just talked about in the reports section. And here you can erase a couple of months. So for example, last 5 months will be deleted, and now when I press save changes, they will be gone from your results. But we're not going to do that. Press save changes. Then we go to integrations over here. Here you can integrate everything you want with the quizzes. Really powerful. Then go to shortcodes. On shortcodes, you can create a leaderboards on your website. This is really fun. If you create a leaderboards, you can use this one, customize it, enter more users and make it with. You can group users by ID, email, or no grouping at all. I would use no grouping. Then you can show the user's result, max or average. Show the points with maximum or without. You can change the color, add some custom CSS. What will be shown in the leaderboard. This is really great. Again, a global leaderboard. You can also have these settings. Leaderboard by quiz category. Then you have the user leaderboard, user pages, all results. This is some real options for all these shortcodes. Wow, this is the most popular quizzes displayed as some. This is some extensive plugin. Let's go to extra shortcodes because there are more. My goodness, look at all these shortcodes. You can place them anywhere on your website, wherever you want them, or use them inside your quiz. This is really great. It's so extremely extensive. Never seen this before. Then you go to message variables. Well, we've seen this a couple of times. You can put these in some places, right? The messages, email configurations. Great. Let's go to the button text. Here you can define all your text on your buttons, but just make sure if you're translating your website, it will not translate it anymore, but you can change it the way you want it. Really great. We have field text, placeholders, labels, change them, and detailed report options. These general settings are just way too extensive. This is great. You can fine tune it to completely the way you want it. This is insane. Then we have on the left side also how to use, and here you can find any answers to any questions you might have on different kind of articles and videos about it. They have a bunch of it because there's a lot to show and to tell. And then they have even more interesting plugins. If I see the quality of this plugin, I would definitely be interested in using more of these guys, and we can press on show all products, and then we go to all their plugins they have created so far in the WordPress world, and there are actually a lot. And last but not least, let's go to add-ons over here. And then you have different kind of add-ons. If you want them for your specific situation, you can buy them at their website. And if you've seen the reviews, they're extremely positive about the people behind the plugin. So if you want one, you could really think about buying one. If you have any questions about this really extensive plugin, drop them down in the comments. I'll always reply. Hit that like button if the video was useful for you, and subscribe over there if you want to see more WordPress related videos. Check out this video, which is also an amazing video, but not so extended as this one. Not so extended.